Alright.
I got nothing.
Hey guys!
Hey guys, welcome back.
Another Power Trip retrospective coming
Yay!
right in your brain holes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well done. Okay.
Today
we are going to be talking about Bucky O Hare.
Bucky O motherfucking Hare. Oh
And-
my god.
And here is fun fact number one.
Fun fact one.
So, a hare, obviously,
Hare.
refers to a rabbit.
Yes.
And do you know what a male rabbit's called?
A jack.
A buck.
Buck, whatever.
A buck. So,
So
hence,
he's male,
that's where
female.
Bucky O Hare came from.
Oh my god, gender neutral, man. Androgynous O'Hare. Oh.
What?
Male, female. He's male, female. Get it?
Moving on!
Bucky O'Hare. Hare's female, right? Buck is male, Hare's female?
Is it?
Buck. That's what you just said.
No, a hare is like, it refers to a rabbit.
Yeah.
Like the tortoise and the hare.
I thought a female.
They're both
rabbit.
rabbits.
I fucked that up.
And it's a male rabbit, a bucky, a buck.
My fault.
Alright, moving on.
Moving on, Bucky O'Hare, man.
So, Bucky O Hare,
This
yeah.
was game 4.
This was game 4.
I loved this game, actually.
This was a really good game, actually.
This was really fun.
Yep, it was. It was a lot of fun.
It was gorgeous. It played well.
Mhm.
We were stupid, as usual. We were.
I think there was a little bit of a learning curve with it, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, the
yes.
game, it was released in 1992, of course, by Konami. But I mean, 1992
Wonderful.
was just, man, what a
What a
good year for
colossal.
some of these game companies. They really just hit their stride. In fact, I would almost say that this was like Konami hit their apex
Absolutely.
on the Nintendo with
Absolutely.
this game. Really,
Konami was really powerful.
yeah. Because they were already doing stuff on the Super Nintendo at that point. So,
That's
but
true.
the fact that they kind of pumped out this kind of work and this dedication to it, I mean, it had really just great graphics. Like they were so
They were very crisp.
they were so clean
They were very beautiful.
with no caffeine.
No caffeine.
It's
Nice try.
7-Up reference there.
It was
Clean
very-
and no caffeine.
Oh my god! Yeah, I just
Yeah.
thought of. Yeah, I just caught that. Wow.
So,
slow to the
but it's
uptake.
just really clean. The
was
backgrounds were just absolutely detailed and just wonderful.
The music was fantastic.
So much stuff going on. The soundtrack was just absolutely stellar. I would almost be willing to say that the soundtrack of Bucky O Hare is probably one of the best on the Nintendo.
I don't know about that. It was great.
It was fantastic.
It was definitely
though.
top shelf. That's
yeah,
for sure. It was.
definitely.
You know, our experience with it was trying. I mean, it was a tough game.
Yeah.
We had our fumbles. Watching it again makes me cringe, as always, because we both suck. When I watch us,
I think I was a little bit better at it than you were, though. I held my own.
we it was about a 50-50
Yeah.
split. There were moments I stumbled, you picked it up, and
Yeah.
likewise.
Yeah, and likewise. Yep.
So, but it was good.
Mhm.
So we'll move on to difficulty. I'll let you go first.
So my difficulty for this game, upon looking back at it, is I would give it middle of the road. I would say 5, and I
5?
honestly
Okay.
I would give it that low, just for the fact that the game is extremely forgiving.
Yes.
When you die, you continue right at like the sector or the area that you were in. Like it's not you get sent back to the beginning. It's not a whole level select type thing. And you get unlimited continues, so literally you have no fear of dying because you are going to continue exactly where you're at every single time.
You know,
So it's literally just comes down to attrition of do I just want to drive through? Do I want to
Yeah.
play on through this game?
I was going to say 6, but bringing up those points, I'm gonna lower it to
Yeah.
you're right, middle of the
Mhm.
road. Because
I
like
was-
you said,
I
the life is so generous. Everything
yeah.
takes off one peg, with the
Yeah, that
exception
too,
of
yep.
some things. Obviously, like some of those laser
the boss,
beams
well, and the boss
bosses.
battles and stuff like that. Who
There
kill
were a
you
lot
one
of-
hit, but it's
A lot of one-hit kills. in
yeah.
that game, too.
But honestly, though, the bosses were a lot easier than some of the stages were.
Absolutely.
And the platforming just got a
Yeah.
little bit complex at times, but for the most part, though,
Do you remember? It was near the finale when it was that room with the circle in the middle and it spun around and you had to find out where
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
That I think was cool, but
was a
like
cool puzzle
that was a hard
yeah.
one for us.
Yeah.
It was tough to visualize it because
Mhm.
nothing moved. It just kind of it was next pick.
was
It's not
just-
like
it
it
just
actually
spun.
rotated.
yeah.
So it's like that was cool, but
Mhm.
you're right. Dying is more
It's
of an
pointless.
inconvenience.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Other than losing a chunk of life or whatever, like even I was surprised. For some reason, didn't recall starting right where you were when you died, because 1-ups are pointless at that point.
Yeah, they really have no. Yeah, they serve no purpose.
No. So I mean, you're right. Five feels. It was challenging. I mean,
it was
extremely
hard. Challenging. You'll get a workout playing it, because the platforming aspects can be extremely difficult. Some of the boss battles, they're difficult, but for the most part, I think they're doable. But overall, it's a.
I mean, we died a lot in
it's a satisfying.
The big laser guy.
Yeah.
You were like the thing in the.
And I forgot how many times we died at that lava area, the Mega Man 2-esque area.
Yeah.
Holy cow, did we die a lot?
We died a lot in that game. I should go back and count how many times we actually died.
So it is difficult, but at the same time, just if you power through it, perseverance is what's going to beat the game for you, and it's not impossible. So,
I agree. Five feels fair.
Middle of the road.
I'll definitely 100% back you on that. Mm. So we'll move on to fun. I'm gonna go with an 8, 7 or an 8. I mean, I love the fact that you had a nice, healthy selection of characters to choose from. You know, they all serve their purpose. It was cool. Like, I really liked that idea. It gave you that kind of Castlevania 3 feel.
Yeah.
At some points where you're swapping between the characters for their strengths.
Just like in the game, you're always referring to Castlevania 3.
Well, that's really one of the few that you could. That was
I
thing.
I know.
But I mean, I loved it. Like you said, the game was visually gorgeous. It controlled very well. Yeah. With the exception of a couple hitbox issues here and there, it was crisp. Like it was mint. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say that it was about. It was a little bit under Little Samson quality, but it was still pretty close.
I, for fun, would give this game a 7.
Okay.
And it's a solid 7 because, honestly, this game is a lot of fun. But it does suffer from a few flaws that just... I don't know if it was just me or if it was just... I don't know, but I'll talk through it. Maybe you'll agree, but... So one aspect, I really did like the fact that you have multiple characters.
Absolutely,
that you can pick through. You have 5 different unique characters. They each have their own different like special and stuff like that. But one of my gripes is that, unlike Little Samson, where each one really did have his own, like you had to pick them along the way in order to go through different paths, there really wasn't any special reason for you to pick one character over the other. Outside of the special that they had, there really was no motivation to say like, oh, I gotta use Bucky for this area, I gotta use Blinky for this area, I gotta use Jenny for this area. It was really just came down to who's your favorite and what boss are you battling, so that what special will be the most effective against him.
Yeah,
so it was a lot.
I can see
it was a lot more Mega Man-ish than I think that they were intending to. Great quality, great aspect of the game, but I just don't think that it was fully.
Other than a couple of moments there, here and there, where you needed there was an area. Remember where you had the 2 walls and they kind of went back and forth, where you needed Duck to get up. Like, other than certain moments like that where you actually needed a certain character for it.
But even that...
You still didn't even have to...
But even at that point, like, that was past, like, all the planets, so you had all the characters at that point. So,
but there was never a point where you needed this specific character for the entire level.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Exactly. Another thing, too, is that I didn't realize, too, at the time when we were playing this game... like we were saying, visually, it's a gorgeous game. The platforming is fantastic. The graphics are so just wonderful. The sprites are bright and vibrant. But the game got really repetitive. Believe it or not. I mean, you really get a lot out of this game. Like, you get hours of gameplay.
I would say it was
long. But at the same time, there came a point where it just... Near the end, it really got repetitive, and
it drew out too long.
It did, and it was like I remember like when the lights were going out, and like you would have to just kind of then use the spotlights in order to find it. It's like there was like 3 rooms of that same thing, that same layout. And it's like, okay, one will suffice. In the beginning, the planets only had like 4 to 5 areas. At the very end of the game, I mean, there was like 8, 9, 10. The last level of the game had like 15 areas in it.
It was a long
So
one.
it just,
and they were divided into like sections because you
Very
had that
small
rotating level.
Yeah.
You had the level with the walls. You had the level that was.
So I mean, it was long. It was kind of cool, but at the same time, it really got repetitive. Where you're just thinking, okay, come on, let's get done. Let's be done finally.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I mean, the game is just I stand by saying that I think that Konami really hit their apex on the Nintendo with this game in particular. It was a fantastic game. Does it have its flaws? Yeah, it does. But overall, it's a solid, really just wonderful game that I could see. So. Even playing it now, like I can go back and see playing it over and over again. Yeah, so I think it does have replayability.
I would definitely pick it back up again.
Absolutely.
It was really good.
So, but yeah, solid 7 for me.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
All right. So, is it worth it?
Is it?
It's a bit pricier of a title. What did we pay for it?
So I actually got this as a birthday present several years ago. So, but I do know that that the person who had gotten it for me, she had ended up paying $36 for it. So, is it worth $36? Every freaking penny.
I would say 36.
Every penny. So now, what this game goes for, as according to price charting, $110.50. Now, this is where the crossroads come, because to me, would you say it's worth it? Yes. I love platforming games. I love the old classic. I love that the game was based on the cartoon, and it was based on like a comic book series, basically.
A little bit more obscure of a cartoon as well.
Yes. So, and actually, we'll get to that after this.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a history on Bucky O Hare, but to me, it's worth it. Now, if platforms are not your game, or if you find a different genre more appealing, obviously $110 is not going to be worth it. That's really, really pricey. But classic Konami games, it doesn't get much better than this on the Nintendo. So it's worth it if you are into that.
I would agree. Actually, I agree wholeheartedly. It's a top shelf game. I mean, even as far as a lot of the more expensive titles go on the NES, 110's not terrible.
No, it's not. And
there's
honestly,
far worse for a shittier game.
And honestly, for $110, you will eventually get your money's worth out of it, because if you're picking this game up for the first time, you're going to be playing for at least 3 to 4 hours. Just kind of learning it, and then there's that much gameplay in there that it's going to take you that long to get through it. So, so you definitely will get your money's worth out of it. It's just you may have to play it a couple more times, but yeah, as Andy has said, it's top shelf material.
It's as far as quality goes, I think it's perfect. Not perfect, but it's definitely worth the money.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Usually I know we err on the side of caution with over 100. It's a little too expensive for any game, but actually
this one I think it's worth
a top tier game, it would be worth it.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's worse that are way more expensive that are not great. There are a few games like that, actually, now that I think of. Because I don't remember how much it's worth now, but Metal Storm is another one.
Yeah,
that's gone up quite a bit in price.
Went up significantly because people are realizing that it's a great game.
Is that one in triples now? Triple digits?
Yeah.
That'd be another one. Just like Bucky O Hare. It's a top shelf game, super good.
Yeah.
Quality. You will definitely enjoy it. It would be worth every penny to spend over 100 for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, a little bit of a fun facts on Bucky O Hare. So the game came out in 1992. Do you realize, though, that Bucky O Hare, the character, was actually, he debuted in a comic book called Echo of Future Past. And it was, Echo of Future Past. It was an 8-issue miniseries. And so it was like a collection of stories. And the first issue had, one of the stories was called Bucky O Hare. And so that was his first appearance. May of 1984. 1984.
Holy crap.
And in fact, it is so close, because I think I may have mentioned that Bucky O Hare was inspired by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't the line based on something?
But the line was so close that I'm like, I'm not even sure if this was completely all inspiration from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because they, like, the comic book of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out in May of 1984 as well, too. So it may have been created maybe a month or two behind that, so it was like right on the coattails of, it could have been I don't know, one or the other. But yeah, May of 1984, the story was written, and the co-creators were Larry Hama. If any, we've got any G.I. Joe or comic book fans, Larry Hama was a prolific comic book writer for G.I. Joe, and it was illustrated by Michael Golden. Michael Golden. So, yep, and
my gosh.
So yeah, I think that's it.
That's pretty close. Yeah, you're right.
So honestly, and then actually the cartoon series that was directly inspired by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because
I remember watching the cartoon.
Because TMNT, what they did was the animated show was meant as a platform by the toy companies to try to market their toys. But they didn't realize that the show itself was going to take off quite like it did.
Right.
So what they were hoping for is that they then licensed out or they commissioned a season of Bucky O Hare. I think it was like 12 episodes to try to then launch a toy line and then hope that it kind of dug in like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did.
A 12-episode commercial.
Basically, yeah.
It must have worked to some degree, because I remember growing up, I had Bucky O Hare shoes.
Yeah.
They were like those goofy Converse kind of, you know, like
so they tried to license the hell out of it for everything that they could and marketed the heck out of it. But the show never ended up making it past the season, and the toys didn't sell as well as Turtle toys did. So so he kind of came and went, but
a blip in history.
But as you can tell, he had a cartoon, he had a game. They had continued comic book series, and
it's not still going, I assume.
Oh God, no.
Bucky O Hare's been done for a while.
For a long time, yeah.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah. But I mean, they pumped out a great game, so I mean, they must have been on top of the world for a while.
Yeah.
You know, especially to have a team like Konami working on it. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, by '92, they were pretty well established, I would say.
Who? Konami? Oh heck yeah, they were. Yeah. Of course they were.
So I mean, that's pretty good. So there you go, guys. All right, Bucky O frickin' Hare.
Yeah, so there's our game review and a little bit of history lesson for you too, and Bucky and the creation of him. So yeah.
So hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter. Go to PowerTripGaming.tv. It'll take you right to our channel. Watch Bucky O Hare. The link's in the description. Watch our playthrough. Comment on it.
Yeah.
See if we're off. Maybe if you disagree. If you agree.
I think our gameplay was a little bit off, but our review, I think, was right on the money.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So there you guys go.
All right. So hope you enjoyed it, and
don't say it. I know you're gonna fucking say it. Here it comes. Stop smiling. I'm gonna say it. Don't say shit. I'm turning the video off before you even say it.
Next time,
God damn,
we review something better.
I hate you so much. You pain in the ass.
But seriously, guys, next time we review something better.
I'll just review something.
I just love that you hate it so much.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
You do realize the more dislike and disgust you show for it, the more I'm going to do it.
No, I should have learned by now. And the more we do it, the more it's going to become a thing.
Gosh darn right it is. And I'm going to keep on doing it.
I fucked up.
Yes, you did.
Next time on Power Trip Retrospective, I come up with a better tagline.
We review something better.
Yes. Better than that.
Bookatoo, bookatoo. Bookatoo, bookatoo.